here's your wrestling news for February 11th, 2022. And your headlines for today include WrestleMania 38 to become a triple threat match, major change of plans in the works. Update on Bill Goldberg plans after Elimination Chamber. WWE Hall of Famer defends her comments bashing WWE's Saudi deal ahead of title match in Jeddah. Former WWE World Champion joins top political party overseas. Tony Khan refutes claims he's running in U.S. political race. Smackdown superstar promises she will face former women's champion who was released last year. Ronda Rousey added to several live events on the road to WrestleMania. WWE superstar speaks out against 2K22 rating, which is 10 points too low, and more. We are kicking off today with WrestleMania 38, where Brock Lesnar will challenge Universal Champion Roman Reigns, with the Beast planning on entering as WWE Champion. Despite initial reports that the Lesnar-Reigns match was always going to be for one title, it's since been said that Vince McMahon is leaning to having a title-for-title match headline the two-night event, and that's not the only massive change that could be in the works. During a Radio Row interview with Claibs Online, Seth Rollins discussed the upcoming Mania main event and teased that it could be made into a triple threat match featuring himself, Reigns, and Lesnar. I ensured that my presence was felt in a Brock-Roman match once before at WrestleMania, so who's to say I couldn't do it again? Who knows? We're roughly 7-8 weeks out from WrestleMania at this point now, so anything can happen between now and then. Not only has Rollins already won a triple threat against both men at WrestleMania thanks to his 2015 Money in the Bank cash-in, but has also won world titles from both men in the past. Both Rollins and Lesnar will be in next weekend's WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match, which Lesnar hopes to win so he can enter WrestleMania as WWE Champion, but even if Rollins leaves Jeddah with the title, we may still get a champion versus champion match at WrestleMania. Elimination Chamber will mark the in-ring return of Bill Goldberg, who will face Roman Reigns in a match 2 years in the making. The pair were meant to face off at WrestleMania 36 before Reigns pulled out over health concerns, and we now know more about the Hall of Famer's latest return. It turns out that all plans for Goldberg will end at Elimination Chamber, as he's not being advertised for any events after the premium live event in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Goldberg is being advertised for tonight's Smackdown from the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans, but WWE will also be taping next week's show tonight, as the WWE crew and talent will be making the trip to Jeddah this time next week. Elimination Chamber will mark Goldberg's final WWE match on his current contract, though he could always re-sign. But even if he does, don't expect any presence from the Hall of Famer at WrestleMania. Elimination Chamber will also mark the in-ring return of Lita, who looks to capture her first Raw Women's Championship when she takes on Becky Lynch. This should be a great match, but the Hall of Famer has been criticized for working a Saudi Arabia show after speaking out against WWE's deal with the controversial nation in the past. In 2018, Lita said that working with the Saudis was directly against WWE's Women's Revolution, and in a sit-down interview with the Ring the Bell podcast, Lita reflected on her comments, saying, "I was outspoken on the early relationship between WWE and Saudi. Oh, they say they want women to wrestle over there, but I don't know if I believe it. There's no women on this card. Now there's women on the card, and I've talked to the women personally that have been over there, and they're like, it's unbelievable." There was a time when fans thought they'd never see women wrestle in Saudi Arabia, and now a total 8 female superstars will be in the ring next Saturday, showing that WWE's relationship, for all the controversy, has made progress in the Middle East. Now, despite his physical limitations in the ring, the Great Khali had an impressive WWE career, including a reign as World Heavyweight Champion and a Hall of Fame induction, but now the 7'3" giant is taking a deep dive into the world of politics. As reported by Asian News International, Khali has joined India's largest political party, the Bharatiya Janata Party, which is led by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In a statement to ANI, Khali said he is glad to have joined the party and feels Modi's work for India makes him the right prime minister. Narendra Modi has been in power since 2014 and re-elected in 2019, but has been criticized for his nationalist views, handling of the past 2 years, and has faced ongoing protests during his premiership. That wasn't enough to stop Khali backing the Indian Prime Minister, as the giant has traded in his wrestling boots for a suit and tie, now as part of India's largest political party. Now, in just 3 years, Tony Khan has become one of wrestling's most influential people as the president of AEW, and he has no plans on leaving the industry just yet. Recently, the account Pro Football Talk reported that Khan recently filed paperwork to run for the U.S. House of Representatives, and we'd be looking to unseat Republican John Rutherford. None of this is true, however, as on Twitter, Khan refuted the claim, saying that Pro Football Talk's fact-checking standard is far lower than Tony Schiavone, and called the site's sources as trustworthy as MJF. With the NFL under mounting pressure amid the ongoing spread of legalized gambling, it would be interesting for an NFL owner's voice to be heard in the House of Representatives, but that won't be Tony Khan's voice if an NFL owner ever gets elected. At the Royal Rumble, Mickie James made her return to WWE, bringing the Impact Knockouts World Championship with her. Lasting over 10 minutes in the Rumble match before being eliminated by Lita, James' sole elimination was by tossing out Michelle McCool, but now another superstar wants a piece of hardcore country. When Sasha Banks shared a photo of herself, James, and Melina backstage at the Rumble, a fan wondered if we'll ever see Banks vs. James one-on-one, and the boss made it clear that the match will happen at some point in the future. In late 2018, Banks and Bayley had a brief feud with James and Alicia Fox, the latter of whom was subbing in for the injured Alexa Bliss, and while the boss and James had several multi-woman matches, they never faced off in singles action. There's no word on if WWE's Forbidden Door relationship with Impact will continue now that the Rumble is over, but James has said she wants to do more work with WWE, and if she does have another match, Sasha Banks is waiting for the Knockouts World Champion. The Royal Rumble also saw the return of Ronda Rousey, who won the Women's Rumble match in her first match back in nearly 3 years. Now Rousey will face Smackdown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, but the baddest woman on the planet has a lot of shows to make before then. WWE is now advertising that Rousey will make a total 15 appearances in the run-up to WrestleMania, including Smackdown tapings and live events. After her return last month, there was speculation on what Rousey's schedule would be, and after 3 years away, whether she'd only make a handful of appearances on the road to WrestleMania. That clearly isn't the case, as Rousey is reportedly going to be a regular on TV until at least WrestleMania 39, where it's rumored she'll finally face Becky Lynch one-on-one, and until then, expect plenty of the baddest woman on the planet, both on and off TV. And we're ending today with some video game news as more superstars and their ratings are being announced for WWE 2K22. These ratings are often a reflection of how WWE sees a certain talent, with their number reflecting their position in the company, as well as how effectively they've been booked, and one superstar isn't thrilled with her rating. When the official WWE Games Japan account tweeted that Asuka will be in the game, and that she's rated 90 out of 100, the Empress of Tomorrow responded saying that she's about 10 points short of an accurate rating of 100 out of 100. A former Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and Women's Tag Team Champion who's the only woman to win Money in the Bank and the Royal Rumble, Asuka is certainly deserving of a high rating and will no doubt be adding WWE 2K22 to her already impressive video game collection. With a 90 rating, Asuka shares her score with the likes of Eddie Guerrero and The Outsiders Hall and Nash, and has a higher rating than Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, and Carmella, and we'll just have to see what's in store for the Japanese superstar after her lengthy absence from WWE TV. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.